awesome.
It's fine. It was very easy to get. I just really want to do those that you
Yeah.
mostly right now.
Did
you get in?
Oh.
Then I'll forgive you. Right on tax.
I know if he's not in.
Share.
Yeah.
I can move over here, it's all right.
We good? Right, 6:30, so I'll call the October 2025 regular board meeting order. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up is honors and presentations. Middle school student spotlight.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you.
I am presenting two of our best tonight. Our first student, the sixth grade teachers are proud to nominate Tahira Ledford for her outstanding effort and character. She is a dedicated hard worker who always puts forth her best effort in everything she does. She is kind and considerate toward her peers, often going out of her way to help others. And Tahira's responsibility and positive attitude makes her a wonderful role model and a valued member of the sixth grade community. So here is a certificate for you. Congratulations. Adriana Rhodes is a consistently positive and dedicated member of our seventh grade classroom and school community. She demonstrates compassion, friendliness, and strong work ethic in all that she does. Always willing to assist others, she contributes to a supportive and welcoming classroom environment in a big way. Her upbeat and unassuming nature, combined with her steady willingness to help others, makes her a quiet leader among her peers. Her seventh grade teachers deeply appreciate the sense of calm encouragement that she brings to the classroom. Congratulations.
Next up, Dean Rawls.
For athletes of the month, first, Jaden, come on up. All right, I'm gonna do my best. He's told me like 4 times when I got here. Jaden One-Struct. Not how it looks on here. Jaden One-Struct. He's a sophomore cross-country runner, and he has been recognized by our cross-country team. Because we are happy to recognize Jaden, sophomore, as our cross-country athlete of the month. This season has really grown into a crucial member of the team through his dedication, consistency, and growing leadership. He encourages teammates to push through hot, long runs during practices and always shows up at meets to cheer them on. Jaden has come a long way since his freshman year, and we look forward to seeing how he continues to grow throughout high school and beyond. Congratulations, Jaden. Next up, we have Kate Wilson. Kate Wilson is a junior volleyball player. Coach Patman had this to say about Kate. Kate is a true leader and a versatile player on our varsity volleyball team. In her 3rd year with the team, she has been a powerful presence as our outside hitter, while also stepping up significantly to play strong defense. Her serving has been exceptional, leading the team with a remarkable 94% accuracy rate. Her positive attitude is infectious, and she consistently motivates our younger players by providing helpful feedback and encouragement. She embodies the spirit of our team. We got a few quick things here. There you are. First slide there, that's just Kate and Jaden with some awesome pictures. So congratulations to them again. One more. Celebrations. First off, the Little Shop of Horrors. If you got to see that, it was phenomenal. I thought they did a great job. Really, really good presentation by them. We've become a unified champion school for Special Olympics. That's really hard work through our SSD staff. And that's a really cool honor for us to get. The Hawk Run earlier in October was awesome. That's a great community event. And then if you hadn't heard, Coach Probst there was awarded earlier the Coach of the Year through the state of, through Misha. So they came and presented him with a plaque and we were able to surprise him on senior night. It was really, really cool. So it was an awesome moment for us. Looking ahead, we have winter sports on Monday. Our soccer districts, again, for whatever reason, soccer runs forever. They play the 6th is the first round game. And if they win that district championship, it'll be on the 11th. Those games are at St. Mary's. And then on November 13th, we have 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade musicals all going on. So those will be in the elementary gym. So that's kind of what we got going on moving forward. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the middle school board update.
Hello again.
Hey.
Thank you for having me. I am delighted to share 3 items from our strategic plan that we have been successful with already this year. The first one, we'll talk about.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Got
so excited. I know.
As I was pushing it, I'm like, I'm gonna push it off. I know I'm gonna push it off.
Okay.
I just leave it. I'll probably do it again if it's. So.
Okay.
Take a breath.
Woo.
Find what we can find.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
You're fine. You are fine. Our strategic plan this year is packed full of goals and action items. And I want to highlight reading, belonging through after school activities, and our new parent advisory board tonight. So our reading big goal is that we want 100% of our kids reading on grade level by the time they leave middle school. And we know that this is a very big and lofty goal, but we work towards it every day. This year, our students are being exposed to vocabulary in every classroom. And the vocabulary program that we have designed was designed entirely by our teachers, rolled out to our staff by our teachers, and supported by our teachers. So they have done, excuse me, word walls in every classroom with content vocabulary. The ELA teachers, it's on the right-hand corner at the bottom, made posters for all the classrooms with directional words. So they're words that the kids see on assessments, especially standardized tests, so that the kids understand what the difference between explain and justify are, things like that. So the commitment from the staff is that they're going to keep their word walls updated this year and purposely use those directional words in assessments and in classroom activities. So far, I did, the teachers set a deadline for the word walls to be up. I did a walkthrough one day and we had 100% word wall implementation. And in the observations that I've done so far, I've seen some sort of vocabulary activity in 91% of the classes, which has been really cool. So much so that the kids are now saying, are we doing vocabulary again? Which means it's working. So I love that. The next goal is after school activities, and we're approaching belonging using after school activities. And our goal is that we want 80% of our kids to participate in at least one after school activity per semester. So right now, as of last week, this is when I did the slides, 55% of our students had participated in at least one activity, and 44 of our students have participated in more than one. So what we're finding is that the kids who are doing it are all in and they're staying every day. They don't care what it is. They're in the library constantly with Leslie. They're doing junk journaling. They're staying for homework help. They just want to stay after and hang out, which is amazing. Our challenge is that we still have a little under half of our kids who haven't done anything yet. So we will be, I gave the teachers the list. They have a spreadsheet. And they're going to be talking to those kids who haven't participated yet and asking them, what do you want? What are you interested in? What would make you want to stay after school? And then trying to tailor some more activities for those kids. We have a very robust calendar. I just finished the November calendar tonight to share with everyone for next week to start. And some days on the calendar, I had to make the font smaller so everything would fit in the box, which is so fun. The kids are enjoying it. They get to explore activities that maybe they've never done before in a safe and supportive environment. And like I said, it does foster that sense of belonging because they are hanging out with possibly kids that they wouldn't necessarily talk to during the school day. Our last goal was to start a parent advisory board to act as a liaison between the school and our families in the community. So I did 10 original invites to various families and invited them to come in to stay for a meeting after open house. We had about 8 parents stay. And then once we had that first meeting and kind of talked about what we wanted the year to look like, I did put an open invitation in the newsletter for anyone who wanted to come to our second meeting, which was 2 weeks ago. We only had 6 parents come, but it was a great conversation. And they've decided that they wanted to do a book study. So we're reading Middle School Matters, and it's all about how to parent kids through all of the emotion, social learning, behavioral stuff, and then how we can use that at school as well. So I will be taking excerpts from the book and our conversations and sharing them in the family newsletter for the parents who aren't able to attend or participate. But it's been really good. We've had some honest, student-centered conversations about learning and about our school. And the parents feel good that they have a voice in some things that we're doing and are wanting to talk about planning some activities for the kids as well. So these are just a few of the celebrations so far, but I have a feeling that there will be more exciting news soon to share. So are there any questions?
I love the idea of the parent advisory board. I was really excited to see that.
Yeah, it's been good.
Do you know any barriers of why some of the half of the kids aren't participating? Is it disinterest? Is it transportation? Is it they need to be home? Or I mean,
I think some of the kids do need to go home to help with younger siblings. But I think for the most part, it is looking at the list. I think it's kids that don't really love school anyway. And I think the sooner they can get home, the better in their world. So that's why we're going to talk to them and have some individual conversations. Leslie has been phenomenal coming up with different things. She's doing a Lego club. She has tea and reading. It's makerspace. It's just constant. And then we are also in November starting a social media club. And we're going to let the kids design some social media posts that will be approved by me, and then I'll post them. So
I think that's great.
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Good at that. Use that video board in the high school.
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah.
I've said that, like, they're the best ones that can make fun TikToks and.
Yes, they're way more
They
fun
call
than
it
I am. You have a question?
Yes, just to follow up on Becky's question, with the kids, how are we also communicating it to the parents so that they know, what kind of activities or, to encourage them also?
Every family Hawk Talk, I send a family newsletter home once a week or once every other week, depending on how much news there is to share, but the calendar is linked there for families. We also have a bulletin board in the school so the kids can see every day what activity is coming. And we've really been working with the kids on responsibility to set that up with mom and dad before the day of, so that am I riding the activity bus home? Is mom picking me up? So it's been good.
Anything else?
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Andrew.
0.04, teaching and learning update. Dr.
Bring-
Brown.
I'm bringing a timer up this time. Cause I'm being provided with quarterly updates this year, which means I have to cut the time by an hour. So
You
I'm
don't
gonna
get the same time.
start the timer now. Tim's gonna hold me accountable. I know it. But no, I'm really excited to have quarterly updates with you this year so we can kind of feature different things throughout the school year. So this quarter will really focus on our summative assessment data that we received from the spring. So you can see that data tonight. And then I'm going to talk with you about our benchmark assessment systems and how we monitor student growth throughout the year. So that's kind of the focus for this time. Next time, just so you're excited and you come back, in December, I will be featuring our APR data, which we just received. It's embargoed right now, so we can't share it tonight, but there's some really exciting things to share. So come back in December. So,
Tuck me into
right,
it.
I know, if I must.
These
So-
4 of you. So
Yes.
Yeah. You guys saw this slide actually in May when we talked through teaching and learning. Just a reminder that we really look for a balanced assessment plan in teaching and learning. So we're looking for that we have those like state and national summative assessments. We do want our students to perform well on those, but we really value our evidence of learning, which is our benchmark assessment data. And then obviously we have our in the classroom formative responsive to learning data that our teachers are doing all the time. So tonight we're talking about state and district. So I'm gonna start with some summative assessment data. So as you guys know, in the spring, we give a lot of assessments from the state. Am I moving this or are you moving this? You're moving this? Move away, go ahead, keep going. You're impacting my time. No, okay. All right, I need you to stay on top of it, Jen. All right, so here are just some quick highlights about last year's data. So APR comes around every year. As I mentioned, I'm going to share 2025 with you in December. But in 2024, I think it's really important to celebrate that we are 98.3% of our continuous improvement scores, which is looking at our college career readiness data, our attendance data, our kindergarten readiness data, all of those things that go into the puzzle of how we are qualified or classified in the state. So really good improvement there. At the high school level, 4 out of 5 subjects that were tested on the EOC outperformed the state. I'm going to show you that tonight. At the middle school level, 5 out of 7 outperformed their 2024 score. So comparing their scores from last year to this year. And then our elementary, our 4th grade, did an outstanding job in both reading and math. So let's look at some of that data tonight. Here is just our overall ELA assessment data. And what I know there's like a black bar in the way, so I'm going to try to describe this as best I can. But if I take all of the ELA data by building, this is kind of where our average score fell. So the gray is the state of Missouri, the blue is Valley Park. So what you can see is that in ELA, we're outperforming the state in all areas. That's a big marker for us. We want to make sure that we're outperforming the state and improving and going beyond. So you can see it's pretty close at elementary, but middle school and high school are outperforming the state by quite a bit in ELA. Next slide is math. Same idea, taking all the scores together. Not as much outperforming as we are in ELA, but we're improving, as well as this year we just implemented new math curriculum. So last year we implemented new ELA curriculum. So you're kind of seeing some of the impact of that work. This year we're implementing new math. So we're hoping that our 2026 scores will show some of that implementation as well. But I would like to note, obviously the high school there, you can see quite an outperformance of the state in math. Go ahead. Yeah, okay. Science. So we're doing some work in science in both. This is elementary and middle school. So as you may remember, we only test in science in 5th grade, 8th grade, and biology. So it's the only test that we don't have a bunch of cumulative data to show. So it's a little harder to like monitor and track growth. A lot of times the cohorts of students are 3 years, totally different kids. So it's a little bit harder to track data. What we're excited to show is that at the middle school level, you'll see here, they increased 18 percentage points in 1 year, which was a huge jump, which we had adjusted our curriculum a few years ago in science. And one of the major adjustments we did was we went to a comprehensive model at middle school. So it used to be that in 1 grade level, they did life science, 1 grade level, they did physical science, and so on. Now every grade level does all 3 areas of science, because we really felt like that would help, since they're only tested in 8th grade, it would help for that like comprehensive learning approach. And we're seeing the impact of that. So if you think about these kids, they're the first group of kids that had all of that in that order. Elementary, we added a STEM teacher last year. So we're excited to see some impact in that area. And just ensuring that our students are getting quality science time. The teachers all have new curriculum in science, but also that they have some additional time with an expert. So we're looking to see some improvements in those areas in the coming years. Next slide. Okay. This is by grade level, really hard to see with this black screen. So I'll just try to tell you what? We could have done it the whole time. All right. Well, what I really want to point out here, you can kind of see, again, Missouri is the gray, Valley Park is the blue. You can see the areas where we're outperforming the state and the areas where we're not, but we're really close. And then I really wanted to highlight 8th grade. We saw a 13% increase from 24 to 25 in 8th grade ELA scores. Next. Thanks. Math. Again, gray, Missouri. This time orange, Valley Park. So math is definitely our area. Like I said, we're implementing that new curriculum this year, where we're hoping to see some growth, but you can see some huge outliers. I had mentioned fourth grade really outperforming the state. So you can see how well they've outperformed the state compared to everybody else. And seventh grade is notable as well. Next. I'm gonna mention it, it's coming up, so that's why I'm gonna. Okay, so and when you look at the spring EOC, so EOC is our high school assessments. Everything I've shown you up to this point has been our MAP assessments. The high school is performing extremely well in the EOC. We continue to see amazing growth. We've done a lot of different things. Obviously, we have excellent teachers. They've always worked hard. They're very committed to their work, but we've done a lot of work around courses and what courses we're offering, the rigor level of those courses, and then as well as looking at all these curriculum areas and implementing not just new curriculum, but tweaks to instruction. So you can really see that work happening here. I'll show you some other data comparatively from 2021 in a minute, but as you can see here, some things I want to point out. Algebra 1, this Algebra 1 score, the first one you see, that's a 17 percentage point increase, is all of our high school Algebra 1 students. And for a long time, we've kind of been stagnant in that area. We've done a lot of things. We have a concepts of algebra class to try to kind of like support and bring up our students who aren't ready for algebra yet, so that when they are ready for algebra, they can perform better. So we're starting to see the impact of that work. So we're really excited about that. I also included on this slide the 8th grade Algebra 1 students. So these are the students who take Algebra 1 in 8th grade. A couple of years ago, the state changed the rules and now they have to take the EOC. So even though they're not in high school, they have to take the EOC. So you can see that they perform extremely well, but that's still even a 20% increase from last year. So we would expect them to perform very well. These are our very high flyer math students. However, we also increased by 20 percentage points just among those students alone. So we know that we're also sending the students to high school a little bit more prepared than they were in the past. So really good things. I mean, I could tell you a million things, but I'm gonna tell you it in another slide. Okay, here it is. So I wanted to look at our growth over the past 4 years and where we started in 2021, kind of that's when we had a shift in MSIP, a shift in some of the scoring, a shift in kind of how we did some of our PD and our curriculum and our support for teachers. So these scores, the gray is from the 2021 school year, and then the blue is from this past school year. So these are just some highlights. So 4th grade math is a major highlight, 20 percentage point increase from 2021 to now. You can see elementary ELA overall. So although we looked at our ELA scores and we said we still need growth, you can see that we have made growth in the past few years. Middle school science, as I had pointed out to you, has had major growth since 2021. High school government, we shifted government, so it used to be a semester-long class. We made it a year-long class. It's really up to the, we say LEA, the district, to decide if it's going to be semester or year-long. We decided to make that shift to year-long. Our government teacher is extraordinary and is always perfecting her craft and looking at what can we do to better align our instruction to these assessments and all of the things. And we've just seen huge growth in that area. And then same goes for biology. So biology, our students take it as juniors. I will be honest, that gives us a little bit of a leg up. A lot of schools take it as freshmen or sophomores. However, the content is in the year they take it. So it kind of doesn't matter in that regard. But we've really upped to the rigor of our biology courses to really ensure that they're aligning to the state standards and that we're making sure we're teaching and mastering those concepts. So you can see the growth is extraordinary. So that just kind of gives you a picture from 4 years to now where we are. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about benchmark assessment data. So we have really invested in using benchmark assessments here in the district for K through 12 students. And the idea behind a benchmark assessment is that we take it multiple times in a school year. We take ours 3 times. We take it at the beginning of the school year, in the winter, and then again in the spring. And it's really meant to be used as a growth indicator. So it allows us to look at where are students now, where do they need to go, and how much are they growing. For teachers, it drills down to standards and it tells them how they're doing on specific standards, what standards they are ready for. So they're teachable, ready for those standards, and where they can differentiate and teach in small groups or scaffold instruction so that students who might be behind in a grade level standard can be lifted up to that grade level standard. So instead of only having what we call autopsy data, which is The summative assessment data from the state, it's great information, but it's autopsy data. It's done when we get it. There's no going back to it. So instead of only relying on that, we're relying on real-time data. So that has really had an impact. Now, if you ask the students, would they say they love it? No, but sometimes they don't love things that are good for them, and this is good for them. So it does take some time to take these assessments, but we really are trying to develop that culture of data led instruction, and so that our instruction is based on the data of where our students are now, not just on what we've kind of always taught or hunches, but it's really based on real-time data. And we also want students to take ownership over their learning. We know, and the research will tell you, that when students monitor their own learning and monitor their own growth, they're more invested in the work. So they get to see the results of these assessments. They get to see how much they've grown. We celebrate their growth. We talk about it when they don't grow or where they're struggling. So really just having that culture that students are a part of that learning process, and it's not just the teacher delivers the instruction to me and I accept it or I don't, has really kind of changed the culture of the buildings. And the last thing is, these do correlate to state assessments. So we purposely invested in assessments that correlate to our Missouri state assessments. And all that means is that if they are on grade level on these assessments, they have like 0.86, which is basically like unheard of correlation to being proficient on the MAP test and on the EOC test, as well as ACT. So we are also trying to prep them and prepare them for those assessments that they're going to have to take. So that's kind of why we do it. I'm going to share with you a little bit about our beginning of the year data, just so you can kind of see what it looks like and kind of how we use it. So iReady is what we use in K through 8 for reading and for math. All of our students take it. Kindergartners, even those cute little things, come into school and they barely can find their classroom, but they're getting on a computer and taking an assessment. But we really want to look at where are they entering so that we know how to grow them as learners. Basically, this is kind of like a stoplight. Green is really good. Yellow is 1 grade level below, and red is more than 1 grade level below. So this is actually based on a school year's worth of expectations and standards. So when you look at this in September, your 1 grade level below students are really not that far off because they just started the school year. So a new 3rd grader who's in 2nd grade level is pretty close to a new 3rd grader. But as the year goes on, you want your green to get bigger, you want your yellow to get smaller, you want your red to get smaller. So we're constantly looking at that shift. It will drill down for us exactly how many students, exactly who those students are by school, by classroom, and by subject. Then it will drill down even further into, okay, so here's your math student, here's their score, here are all the standards they've mastered, here's all the standards that they still need to work on. Here is what grade level they are in that standard. So it will tell you in like a domain that they're at the beginning of 5th grade at that domain, but in this domain, they're at the beginning of 4th grade at that domain. So we can actually drill down, really down to the standards and identify what they need next. So that's kind of the point of a benchmark assessment. It's not to like be a grade. We don't use it as a grade. It's not to assess the kids as any kind of finality, but it's really to inform teachers of where to go next. And then for us, as well as the teachers, to be able to monitor the growth of our students so that we're making sure that they're growing throughout the year. We're not just looking at those spring assessments and looking to see if they grow. So that's kind of the idea behind those. You can go ahead and go to the next one. This is also iReady, but this is middle school reading and math. So you can kind of see same idea. And you can see our percentages of students who are early on grade level and mid to above grade level, as well as our students who are 1 grade level below. And like I said, same thing, we can drill down. The nice thing about the iReady system is it actually gives teachers supports for instruction. So it will tell them not only what the students are ready for next, but if you want to differentiate, it'll tell you groupings. It'll give you ideas of lessons that you can teach. So it really gives them a lot of support. We also have some other tools embedded in iReady. So our students use MyPath, which is basically like based on their assessment, it aligns lessons to what the students are ready for. And then they can go on independently. And it's kind of like a quiz game kind of system where they can go on independently and it teaches them a little bit of something. They show that they understand those problems. Then it teaches, oh no, no, okay. Then it teaches them, I'm almost done. And then it teaches them a little something more. So it's really like intuitive. So that's one of the parts that we like most about it, and it's adaptive.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh, please,
I
because
know.
I'm out of
So-
time.
Did you, and you may have said the same as, and I'm sorry if it did,
No.
is this the first year we're using iReady?
Oh,
or
that's
is
a
it?
good question. I didn't say that. So thank you for asking that.
Yes.
So actually at the middle school, this is our 3rd year of using it. And at the elementary, it's our 2nd.
And so does the iReady scores follow them from your year so that
we can see year to year, but these are new scores, so it
Right,
basically.
no, I know these are new, but
Yes.
can the teacher go back and
They can,
look at previous
we can
scores?
show them, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
so they can kind of see like where was their growth last year.
right.
And the other thing that iReady does is it gives them a growth target, like it'll say, based on where you are, here's what typical growth is, so by the end of the year, you should be here. We love that, but also if you're below grade level and typical growth is a year, you're still below grade level at the end of the year, but you've made growth. So the other thing it gives them is like a stretch growth goal, so to get them beyond just a year's worth of growth, because if you're already behind, you have to make more than 1 year's worth of growth to ever get back on level, and then it shows them that as well. So teachers can monitor that and the students can monitor that too. Yeah, good question. I didn't mention that.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, in the next 1 second, NWA, all the same ideas, but it's for high school. It's a little bit different than iReady. It is our third year giving NWA. Yeah, third year giving NWA. We give it at middle school in science. We give it at high school in reading, and then we also give it in high school in math. So depending on what class they're in, they take it. We give it in biology only for science, because that's the only tested area that they have in science. And it's the same idea, but this time blue and green are good, right? Yellow is slightly below. And then the orangish red are the students who are more than 2 grade levels below. So we use it all for the same exact things. It's a little bit different in the sense that the number you see on the side is like the median score, kind of like where the median percentile that we fell into. Same idea though. Okay. And then I already really said all these things. This is the model of the iReady, where it gives you your typical growth goal as well as your stretch goal, and then identifies the areas where students are performing. And then the next slide shows you what it looks like in NWA. So students get to see if they're making high growth, high achievement, or they might have made low growth, but they're high achieving, if they met their goal, and then they get to monitor their progress. The nice thing about NWA is if they've taken it in 6th grade, they get to see it all the way through. So that line chart there, that line graph will actually continue throughout all the years. And then I was just going to remind you guys that we're part of the statewide pilot for the statewide assessment program. So just looking at different ways to use this kind of data, like benchmark assessment data versus just summative assessment data, to monitor our performance as a district. I was really close.
You were very close.
Just saying, really close. I can
impressed.
only get better, guys.
Yeah.
Come back in December. I'll be faster.
I was very
You guys have any
concerned for you.
questions? I know.
Beginning, but you
I
did
was,
well.
I was too. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Megan. All right. 3.01, next order of business is approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any aye? Any opposed? No. All right, 3.01. Dude, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, my apologies. I missed 2.05. SBA. Oh, that's the one I requested.
I didn't want
All
to
right,
pick that
all
up.
right.
Wait,
All right, my apologies. So a few of us went to the MSBA conference in Kansas City this weekend, and we learned some really great stuff. So I wanted to give us an opportunity to kind of share a little bit about what we learned while we were there. So Pete, do you want to go first?
Yeah, there's 2 things that I wanted to talk about. One was there's a company out there that helps school districts in making money with their facilities, such as their baseball field, their gymnasiums, and we've talked about people using our facilities. This is almost like an Airbnb. They do all the work. They take a percentage off the top that comes from the people that use it. Costs us nothing because that's their money in the first place. And then you get the rest of the money. They carry the insurance for the building. Whatever we require by our policies, every school different, you know, some of them are 1 million, some of them are 2 million. They can also supply the janitorial staff to clean it afterwards. Or they can charge the people that use it whatever our cost would be to clean it. And he suggests that most people use them. That way you don't have to mess with scheduling our people. They just take care of all of it. Most of the schools that use it are using it to supply new uniforms for teams, stuff for their sport teams that you don't normally have in a budget.
Mhm.
That's what that flows into. Baseball fields are big in the summer. And also gymnasiums are big. Club volleyball is huge. But it's coming up this way. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas has been using it for a while. They're now in Missouri and the west side, and they're coming towards us. So I got the information. I'll give Tim the contact information. And the other one was something we've talked about for years, is the bus company over here has moved down to a new location next to the apartments in Valley Park. They have a good deal on a 37 or 32 passenger bus versus a 60 or 70 passenger bus, simply for fuel economy, using it for things that you don't need a 70 passenger bus and you put 10 people on it, which a lot of school districts still do it. You know, you don't need a 70 passenger golf team, for instance, or even a volleyball team. So they use that a lot. So maybe when one of our buses is up, we can look at that. Much less money, about 50% of the cost of a 70 passenger bus, which is a lot. That's the two.
All right, great. Thanks, Pete. So I went to several really good presentations. The final one I went to was on board self-evaluations. It was very interesting. Talked about, you know, how everybody within the school district gets evaluated, and it would be good for us to evaluate ourselves. And use that to improve upon what we're doing for the district and the community and such, and maybe set some goals. So I'll share probably next month some more information about that, and we can talk about it a little bit further. All right. That was it, right? Okay, all right. Any public comments, 4.01? Any public comments? No. All right, next order of business is consent items 5.01 through 5.07. Are there any items anyone wants to pull out for separate consideration or discussion? Okay, so can I get a motion to approve consent items?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, move down to action item 6.01, approval of the GMP amendment. Lot, baseball field and student quad. Can I get a motion to, you don't have anything to say about it, do you? Can I get a motion to approve? Can I get a second?
Second.
Phyllis? Aye.
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 And I'm an aye as well. All right, no public comments on non-agenda items, so can I get a motion to adjourn to executive session?
Second.
Pete?